everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our chapter Comprehension Ability. Now, this is part number 25. As we all know that we have already started doing short passages. So in this session as well, we are going to discuss some short passages, and in this session, we will discuss short passages from passage number 6. It means up to part 25, we have already discussed some short passages, and those were till passage number 5. So in this session, we will be doing total of 5 passages, out of which we will begin the session with passage number 6. Okay. And after that, we'll do passage number 7, then passage number 8, then passage number 9, and then passage number 10. Also, we will be discussing question and answers based on these passages along with solutions and detailed explanation. So this session is going to be very interesting for all of you. So stay tuned and start doing the passages along with me. So let's begin the session. First of all, we'll do passage number 6. These will be short passages. Therefore, we will do these 5 passages, or we will be able to do these 5 passages. And after this, you will have an idea that how to solve short passages. Though these passages are a little tricky, or a little more tricky as you have done before. Okay. So this is passage number 6. As I have told you earlier as well, that because these passages are too short, what is suggested to you that you have to read the entire passage first, or try to understand what is the theme of the passage, or what the passage is about, and what does it contain, and after that start doing the questions. So in this session as well, we are going to do the same. First of all, we'll read the entire passage and we'll try to understand the meaning or the concept of this passage, and after that we'll start attempting the questions. Okay. So let's start reading the passage. So this is passage number 6, and let us start reading the passage. Culture is the cultivation of a plant or garden, not the eradication of its roots. It means we are talking about, I think the passage is going to be about culture, because we have started about the culture. The keyword or the starting word of the paragraph or the passage is culture, and we are referring to the culture only. So culture is the cultivation of a plant or garden, not the eradication of its roots. It means we are talking about culture, that it is like, or metaphorically, it has been said in the first line about culture, that it is like a plant or a garden. Okay, of a plant or garden, because by planting many trees or by planting many plants, we make a garden. Okay, it means we are growing plants. That is culture, not eradication of its roots. Eradication means ruining or damaging the, or you can say taking out the roots. Okay, that will destroy the plant itself. So it is an understanding of the roots and seeds. It is actually, if I'm not wrong, the passage, the starting of the passage is a metaphor, where we compare one thing to another, or using the name of another thing, but we are just comparing the two things according to their, you can say we are just comparing the two things according to their similarity or the quality that you can see in both the things. Okay, their patient care and instructed nourishment. Instructed nourishment refers to when you have some ethics, when you have some rules that you have to follow, and that is instructed nourishment. Culture is not knowledge, nor it is art, nor is it art. Still less is its acquaintance with literature and art. It means your culture has been defined that it is not knowledge, it is neither art, or not acquaintance. Acquaintance means knowing something. Okay. By culture, I mean, first of all, what the anthropologists mean. Anthropologist refers to, basically, anthropologist is a term with the, suppose there is a word anthropos. Now, let us discuss this word. Anthropos means human. Okay. And if we talk about the word logy, that is study. Okay, study, that is study. So study of human is anthropology, is anthropology. So this is actually the root word. And what is the root word? That is anthropos or logy. Okay, so study of human is anthropology. So one who studies human behavior or humankind, that person is known as anthropologist. So the person who studies, or who actually this is a noun of the study, and this is a person. So anthropologist. So anthropologist is a person who study or who studies human behavior, mean the way of life of a particular people living together in one place. So here culture means life of a particular people living together in one place. This here in this part, the definition, okay, from here, by culture I mean, okay, so in this part, this line, the definition, the actual definition of culture is given to us. The culture is made visible in their acts. In their means there refers to people, okay, in their social system, and their habits and customs, in their religion. So the culture is made visible. It means culture can be seen or can be depicted from their behavior, their arts, their religion, their performance, their acts, their habits, their customs, their rituals. It is an aggregate of customers. Aggregate means total of customs. It is not customer, sorry, it is customs or customers, institutions, manners, standards, tastes, morals, and beliefs. So it is all together these things make the culture. Okay, all together these things make culture. Now these are transmitted, rather transmitted means transferred, rather by family than by school. It means a person or a child, um, first of all, culture, the knowledge of culture he gains from his family, and after that from schools, because the customs that you follow, the culture that you are following, the children who are being brought in your family, they will learn the customs or rituals of yours only. So they will only do as you did. Okay, so the culture will be transmitted to them or will be transferred to them on the basis of your performance only. For example, if there is a family, okay, in a family, if there is a first generation, and what the culture they are following, for example, they are following proper Indian culture, the next generation, the second generation, they will also follow the same because they have seen their elders doing the same, and after that third generation will follow the second one, and the second will follow the first one. Okay, so and so on, the generation to generation they will follow you, because they are just doing whatever you have instructed to them or whatever you have done before them. Also, like in India today, or in or anywhere, as we know well that nowadays family, they are neutral, they are not joined, but it happens sometimes that whenever we have some festivals, the people who have parted us or who have parted from us, for example, there is a family in which they have two sons and one is living in another city or another country. What they do, just at the time of festivals, they come to you or they ask you that what is to be done in this festival or what is to be done in this ritual or custom. So they follow you, whatever you say, they follow that. Okay, by just watching all those things that you have done. So culture is transmitted first by family and then by school. Okay, when family fails or when family life fails to play its part, now because transmission of culture is totally depends first on the family only. Now if the family fails to do so, that if family fails to transmit the rituals or the style of making those rituals or the customs or the culture, they are not able to transmit it to the next generation, it means they are that we must expect our culture to deteriorate. Deteriorate means going on a diminishing scale. It means we are just forgetting our culture, we are just winning our culture. Okay, so we must expect when, only when family is failed to do so, okay, to play its part. So culture to deteriorate means to diminish. It is a delusion to think that the melodies of the modern world can be put right by a system of instruction. On the contrary, contrary means on the other hand, universal education by lowering standards, morals, and tastes to common denominator, and by sharpening the wits. Sharpening the wits, it means they are making the people very intelligent, but they are witty. It means they can answer anyhow. Okay, they are not following the culture. Those are traditional. In fact, they are just making their own bits rather than disciplining character. It means they are not disciplining. They are protesting each and everything. For example, there is a little example of it. For example, in our earlier time, it is said that whatever you have said, whatever you have commanded, you have to follow it without any reason or without answering or without, you can say, without counteract. Okay, you cannot counter anyone else if he's elder to you. But nowadays, do we do same? We counter, we just ask that why is it so, why is it so, why do I do this? Okay, so we counter him, our elders. So this is actually the modern culture, which is just opposite, which is not following the disciplines of any society. In fact, they are ruining, because we have sharpening bits, we have reason, we have logics for everything. And by presenting those logics, we are just deteriorating our culture. Though they can be there can be something which is orthodox, but we are not following even the things which are proper as well. So this is how we are just going away from our culture. Okay, and family plays a very important role in preserving it. Disciplining character tends to break down existing checks and balances. Education should be the drawing forth of potential values. It should not be the destruction of the safeguards that tradition places around young egos naturally inclined to willful and precious flights. Okay, so education is somewhere be like that, that should not, you can say, deteriorate or damage our culture. Okay, so we should follow our culture and our pattern, and we should follow the rituals and customs. Okay, so this is a nice paragraph and very meaningful as well. So the passage, we have already understood the meaning of this particular passage. I hope you have also understood the meaning of this, or the concept they want to show you about this passage. Now it is time to start questions of these passages. Sorry, of this passage. So let us begin doing the questions. Okay. So let us first have the first question. And the first question is, the writer uses the term culture to refer to. So the options are the cultivation of a plant or garden by a community, one's acquaintance with literature and art, one's acquisition of knowledge, or is it D, the way, or is it D, the way of life or a particular people living together in one place? So they are asking about the definition or the term culture here refers to. Now, as you can see in this paragraph, okay, in this passage, the term culture, here we have read this in our first 3 lines. Okay, so culture is the cultivation of plant garden, not the eradication of its roots and seeds. Okay, infrastructure. Basically, if you read culture is not knowledge, so here culture is defined that it is not like this. Okay, it is not acquaintance with literature or knowledge. It is not knowledge. Okay, that culture is made visible in their arts. Okay, but here it is given by culture, I mean, first of all, the anthropologists mean the way of life of a particular people living together in one place. So according to options, it should be D, the way of life of a particular people living together in one place. So it is directly given in the passage, as you can see, because you have already read the entire passage and you know well that what is the location of this option in the passage. Of course, you can answer this directly. So its answer will be D. This is understood and this is very simple, as you have seen it in written directly in the passage. Okay, so the writer uses the term culture to refer to the way of life or a particular people living together in one place. Okay, so the answer will be D. Now, of course, we have seen that culture is not knowledge. So one's acquisition of knowledge and acquaintance with literature and art is not the correct answer, as it is also directly given in the passage. First to fifth line, every answer, the answer of this question is visible. It is actually in the third line. Okay, third and fourth line of the passage. So this is the answer of the question number 1. Now let us move to the question number 2. And the question number 2 is, the passage suggests that universal education. Now, whenever such questions are there, you have to look for the keyword first. So In this, we are talking about universal education. So first we have to look for this word, where this word is located in the passage. Now let us see the options. It is in fact aggravating the existing problems of the modern world. Is the solution to the problems in the modern world, would prevent us from transmitting culture to future generation, or would help in retain. Help retain means to preserve the cultural values. Now we are talking about universal education. Now, as you can see over here, it is written from the, okay, here it is written universal education. This is in the passage, the last fourth or fifth line from below. Okay. On the contrary, universal education, by lowering standards, morals, and tastes to common denominator, and by sharpening the wits rather than displaying character, tends to break down existing checks and balances. So it is obvious that it is doing something negative. If we look at the options, would help retain the culture values? No, it will not help retain the culture values. In fact, it is diminishing the cultural values. So D cannot be the answer. A is in fact aggravating the existing problems of the modern world. No, they are not existing. They are not aggravating the existing problems, because existing problems are so many, and these are not actually mentioned over here. Okay, as you can see over here in this as well, it is an aggravate of customs, institutions, manners, standards, tastes, morals, and beliefs. Now these are transmitted rather by family than by school. Hence, okay, a right of system instruction. On the contrary, so this is somewhere opposite. Universal education, by lowering standards, because it is making the standards lower, morals and taste to a common denominator, it means everything is going down, and by sharpening the wits, okay, rather than disciplining character, so they are sharpening the wits. Okay, so according to that, B cannot be the answer. Would prevent us from transmitting culture to future generation? Yes, of course, this is the correct answer, because if we follow this modern or universal education, what they do, they are just making people away from our culture. Okay, so they can prevent us, or they can make us, they can forbid us, by forbid us to transmit our values or culture to future generation. Okay, so answer will be C. So C will be the correct answer. I hope you got this answer. Okay, now let us move to the next question, and the next question is, the culture of a community is said to deteriorate when? Now let us see the options. The first one is, there is a fall in its educational standards. The family life fails to play its part. There is a universal education, or it adopts the modern system of instruction. Now, when the culture of community is said to be deteriorate, as you can see it in the line, it is directly given in the passage. Let me look at this. Okay, if we say, yes, that culture is made visible in arts, in the social standards, okay, beliefs. Now, these are transmitted rather by family than by school. Hence, if when the family life fails to play its part, must be expected the culture to deteriorate. Now, this is again directly given in the passage. Therefore, our answer will be B. When the family life fails to play its role, then our culture is said to be deteriorate, or you can say diminish. So it will be answer B. So answer B will be the correct answer, as it is again given directly in the passage. Okay, now let us move to the next question, and this is question number 4, and the question is, the culture of a community is transmitted. Okay, of a community is transmitted. Now let us see the options, what they are asking actually. More by school than by family, more by the family than school, equally by both, or by the peer group. Of course, this is directly given over here. The culture is made visible in their arts. Okay, sorry. Now these are transmitted rather by family than by school. Rather by family means first by family then by school. Therefore, our answer should be B, that is more by the family than school. It means culture is transmitted more by family. Family plays a vital role more than school as well. Okay, so answer will be B. This is again directly given in the passage. Now let us move to the next question, and the next question is, according to the passage, education is the sharpening of wits, tapping and encouraging the inherent values in men, the substitution of old traditions with the new ones, and the development of moral standards. Now, as you can see over here as well, that education by lowering standards, moral common denominator by sharpening the wits rather than disciplining character. It means education. What is it doing? Is sharpening the wits. It means sharpening the intelligence to make a person very intelligent and smart. So our answer will be A. He is becoming logical. Okay. So A will be the correct answer. Or you can say, on the other hand, he's becoming aware of everything. He's becoming clever. So he knows the tactics of life. Okay. Now, this was passage number 6 that we have already done. And we did, I hope we did a total of 5 questions of this passage. I hope you understood each and every question very well. Now it is time to do passage number 7. I hope you understood passage number 6 thoroughly. So now we will be doing passage number 7. And first, let us read the entire passage number 7. And after that, we'll do the questions based on this passage as well. Okay. So here the passage is: there are some men who seem to be always on the lookout for trouble. Lookout means just to check for trouble. Lookout basically means when we think that something is in danger or something is strange. So we have to look out. That is our lookout for trouble. It means we are going to see or examine what is the trouble. And to tell the truth, they are seldom disappointed. It means they are not disappointed. Okay. Listening to such men, one would think that this world is one of the stormiest and most disagreeable places. Yet, after all, is not such a bad place. And the difficulty is often in the man who is too thin-skinned. Thin-skinned refers to a person who is very sensitive. It means who is very emotional, who gets emotional every now and then. Okay, on everything he, you can say he became afraid of everything, or he gets emotional on everything. So that is, you can say, the thin-skinned man. On the other hand, it means contradictory to this, the man who goes out expecting people to be like himself, kind and brotherly, will be surprised at the kindness he meets even in the most unlike quarters. Now, there are 2 types of people. One who always think of this world as a bad place. Okay. But this is not that type of place. People are good as well. And the another type of men who expect people to be like himself. It means the person who is very kind and he thinks that everyone is also kind, brotherly, and like himself. He will be surprised. He will be surprised at the kindness he meets. If we meet a person in an adverse situation or in an era which is just adverse to his opinion or thinking, and he finds a person of the same kindness or even more kinder, or even more kind, a smile is apt to be met with a responsible smile, while the sneer is just as to provoke a snarl. So provoke means instigate. A snarl means when someone frightens by just croaking, or you can say by showing teeth, and he tries to shout, or you can say to frighten you. Men living in the same neighborhood, which is quarrelsome, but the man within us. It means person who are your neighbors, though they are bellicose or they are ready to fight every time, but they have also man in themselves. Okay, it means they are also human being. So, and we have it our power to change our neighborhood into a pleasant one by simply changing our own ways. It means it is only up to us whether to just balance that particular behavior. Suppose there is a person A, he is very kind, okay, and he is very good natured. Now he has a neighbor that is B, and he's very you can say bellicose, or he's always eager or ready to fight. But A is a very kind person, and whatever he does, if he does wrong, he ignores. He talks to him very he talks to him very you can say not rudely, very patiently, with love, with care. He shows so much of care. Now obviously this person also have a man inside him, so what he will do, he will also respect this person because he always respects him whatever he does, or no matter what he does. So he always respects him, so B will also start respecting this person, and this person by his behavior, he will change B as well according, or B's attitude towards him, totally, just by his kind and precious or lovable behavior. Okay, so he will make the situation pleasant every time. Okay, so this passage is again nice, that it means it totally depends on us how we are living in this world, and how we see in this world, how we see this word, or how we just change the word according to us. Okay, now let us start doing the questions. I hope you have understood the passage or the theme or the meaning of the passage. Okay, so let us start doing the questions. So this is question number 1. The passage is about, and the options um, are disagreeable and hostile word, a kindly and pleasant word, an indifferent and unresponsive word, the word and what one makes of it. Of course, it is the word and what one makes of it. Okay, we have here not talked about only disagreeable or hostile word. We have not only talked about kindly and pleasant word. We have not talked about indifferent and unresponsive word, because we have said about those men who are always bellicose, and those men as well who make their neighborhood as well according to them, and who sees everyone to be pleasant, or to be honest, or to be kind and brotherly. So he makes the word according to him only. So D will be the correct answer. That is, answer is D, that is the word and what one makes of it. Okay, now let us move to the next question, and this is question 2 of passage 7. They are seldom disappointed. So this line, the statement denotes that such man. So we have been asked about the meaning of this line. Okay, according to the context of the passage. So welcome difficulties as a morale booster. Do not have to face any trouble. Manage to keep unruffled in the face of discomforts, but generally do not fail to come across troubles. So as you can see over here, there are some men who seem to be always on the lookout for trouble. It means they always try to search trouble. And to tell the truth, they are seldom disappointed. It means they search trouble, but they do not take trouble as the burden. In fact, they feel that they can come across them, and they can tackle them. Okay, they can face them easily. So according to the context of the first line of the passage, we can see it is answer D, that is generally do not fail to come across troubles, because they are not frightened by anything, and they do not frightened to face the troubles. Okay, so here they are not never, they are seldom disappointed. It means they don't get disheartened, they don't get unhappy, because they know well, they know how to tackle the trouble. Okay, so they don't even think of it, they don't they do not frighten, they do not get afraid of the troubles. Now let us move to the next question. This is question number 3. The author's own view of the world, that is one of the loveliest and quietest places, and unpleasant and turbulent places, one's own excessive sensitivity that makes it bad place, a sordid place for those who suffer in life. Now, of course, after seeing the last line, that men living in the same neighborhood, well, which is quarrelsome with the man within us, and we have it in our power here, according to this line, and we have it in our power to change our neighborhood into a pleasant one by simply changing our own ways. It means by simply changing our ways, our style of living, we can change them as well. So by just behaving ourselves, we can make other behave too well mannered. Okay, so according to author, the world is not the loveliest place. We can find each and every type of person in this world. They can be quarrelsome, they can be good, and so on. And unpleasant and turbulent? No, it is not like that. one's own excessive sensitivity that makes it bad place. Yes, of course, as you can see over here in this line. Yes, after all, this is such a bad place. This is not such a bad place, as he's saying that it is not such a bad place, and the difficulty is often in the man who is too thin skinned. Too thin skinned means very sensitive. Okay, so according to this line, C option will be the correct answer. So our answer will be C. Sordid is again a negative word, so it is not sordid. Okay, so answer will be C. So it is only made by a person according to his thinking. Now let us move to the next question. And the next question is, which of the following is opposite in meaning to the expression thin-skinned as used in the passage? So we have already read this word, that is thin-skinned, and I told you that thin-skinned means who is very sensitive and gets emotional very frequently. Now, options are insensitive, intelligent, awkward, and obstinate. Of course, they are asking about the word opposite in meaning. So they are asking about the antonym of this particular word, that is thin-skinned. And as I told you, the meaning of thin-skinned is sensitive. So the opposite of it will be, of course, insensitive. So it is directly given over here. So A will be the correct answer, as you can see over here as well. Okay, so A will be the correct answer. Now let us move to the next question. And the next question is, on the other hand, two unlikely quarters. It means this line. Okay. On the other hand, up to unlike quarters. The statement shows that people's reaction to our attitude is, and the options are generally indifferent, surprisingly responsive, often adverse, mainly favorable. So according to this line, the statement shows that people's reaction to our attitude is, as you can see over here, be surprised at the kindness he meets even in the most unlike quarters. Unlike quarters means adverse situation. Okay. So, or the unlike quarters are like places where we do not find people as per our opinion or as ourselves. Okay. So that is unlike quarters over here. It means this statement shows that people's reaction to our attitude is, you can say, it is not often adverse, but it is it will be B, that is surprisingly responsive. As we can see over here as well, that surprised at the kindness. So from here, the answer will be surprisingly responsive. Now, this was passage number 7. Now we'll start doing passage number 8. I hope you understood passage number 7 as well. It was again very simple and easy, and I hope you understood each and every question very well. So now it is time to do passage number 8, as we are going to discuss 5 passages in this session. Till now we have done 2, so this we are doing, now we are doing passage number 8. So let's begin. First of all, let us read the passage. Now this passage only contains 4 lines. So this is very short passage. Okay. Among the earliest memories of my childhood means author's childhood, are the stories from these epics told to me by my mother or the older ladies of the house. Now, who are older ladies of the house? Of course, she can be grandmother, she can be you can say grand maternal mother. Okay. Just as a child in Europe or America might listen to fairy tales or stories of adventure. Now they are talking about some epics, and epics are actually the long narrative poems. Okay, it means they are poems which are very, very long. Okay, they are long narrative poems. They are narrative poems means they are written in rhythmic form, but these are actually the stories in the rhythmic form, which is like a novel in a rhythmic form. Okay, so that is epics told to me by my mother or the older ladies, just as it is similar to that particular child who is in America or Europe country and listening to the fairy tales. So these type of epics has been told to me. It means my grandmother or my mother or my grandmaternal mother, she used to tell me the stories or of these epics. It means the biggest stories ever, or the poem, just like a person or a child who is in America or Europe, he must be listening to fairy tales. So it means like stories of adventure. So they were maybe told the fairy tales, but I was told these stories or these epics. Now, basically, if you know well that the Mahabharata and the Ramayana both are epics. Okay, so there was for me both the adventure and the fairy tale element in them. Okay, it means the epics that were told to me, they contained both adventure as well as fairy tale element. Because if you read Ramayana or if you see Ramayana, you must overcome those situations that looks like or that appears to us as if they were just imaginative, but those were true things. Okay, and because it is not realistic, it used to be happened, but it has not happened. You can say you cannot see it in reality nowadays, but it used to have it is used to happen. So there was for me both the adventure and the fairy tale element in them. And then I used to be taken every year to the popular open air performances where the Ramayana story was enacted. It means, for example, if you have seen Ram Leela and other things that have been performed, or sorry, that are performed on the stages during the Shara festival and all. So where this Ramayana story was enacted or Ramayana story was enacted, it means shown like a performance. So he was taken to that place as well, and he has seen those performances as well. Okay. So the question number 1 is, I hope you understood the passage. The passage is too small, but very interesting. Okay. So the author of this passage is in a reflective mood, a reminiscent mood, a critical mood, or an introspective mood. Now, if we see all these 4 words, a reflective means when we reflect our nature. Reminiscent refers to, or this word is reminiscent, when we memorize something of the past, when we memorize something. Critical, it means when we criticize something, or introspective, or when we are criticized. Introspective, when we are answering and questioning, or when we are thinking only to ourselves and we are not depicting or explaining anything to anyone. Now, because he was learning or he was remembering those days when he was told when about the stories and the epics, and he is in the memories of his childhood. Therefore, this reflects that the author in this passage is in a reminiscent mood. Okay, so here B will be the correct answer. Okay, now let us move to the question number 2. Among the earliest memories of my childhood. Okay, sorry. We are talking about question number 2. Epics are. So they have asked about the meaning of epics. Now let us see the options. Long historical stories, poetic works of excellence, long narrative poems of the adventures of mythical heroes, or popular versions of national histories. So as I told you, that it is long narrative poems of the adventures of mythical heroes. So this is epic. So C will be the correct answer. Okay. This is very, very simple. Now let us move to the next one. And the next question is, the second sentence shows that the writer. Second sentence means, if we see the entire passage, this contain only 3 sentences. The first one is up to adventure, and the second is there was for me both the adventure and the fairy tale element in them. Okay. Now let us see. Second statement or sentence shows that writer tolerated the old stories and open air performances. It means he just bore the old stories and open air performances. It means the stage shows. Analyzed old stories for their value, enjoyed them, dismissed them as untrue and silly. No, he found adventure and fairy tale element in them. It means he enjoyed both the types of stories. Okay, so here answer will be C. This is again very simple. As you can see over here, there was for me both the adventure and fairy tale element in them. So it is that he has enjoyed them a lot. Now let us move to passage number 9. Now I hope you have understood passage number 8 thoroughly. Now it is time to do passage number 9. So 2 passages are remaining in this session. So now we'll discuss passage number 9. I hope you have understood 6, 7, and 8 passages or 8th number passage very thoroughly. Now it is time to do passage number 9. So first of all, again, we'll read the entire passage, and after that, we'll start doing the questions based on it. Okay, so let's begin with the passage number 5. First of all, we'll read the entire passage, and after that, we'll go to the questions based on this. Now, this passage is a little bigger, or you can say that it contains 2 paragraphs. Okay, so let's start reading this passage. Now, this is passage number 9 that we are going to discuss. Okay, so let's start reading the passage. Newspapers sell because of news and editorial coverage, but it gets more revenue from advertisements. Now, one purchases newspapers, of course, for news and editorial coverage. Of course, you must be reading newspapers nowadays just for the editorial coverage as well, because we know well that many of our competitive exams, they have comprehensions from the newspaper only. So we also read a newspaper for these things like editorial and so on. Okay, but it gets more revenue. But this is to be point out that the revenue, it is generated generally from the advertisements, not from the newspapers and editorials. News costs money. It means if a newspaper is going to publish news, it means he has to give, or the person of that newspaper company, he has to pay to those news givers, and while advertisements fetch money. It means from advertisement, newspapers are getting revenue, whereas on the part of news, they have to pay from themselves. Okay, the economics of modern newspapers is such that it cannot run by just selling news. It has to depend on advertisements. The economics of newspaper, it means the business of newspaper. Publishing requires both subscribers. Both subscribers here refer to one person who can afford to buy newspapers. It means those people who afford to buy newspaper. It means they are the customers of the newspapers. They buy newspapers. Okay. And businessmen, the another source of income is businessmen who can afford to advertise in it. It means person who give their advertisements in the newspaper, they pay for it, and they pay really a good amount. So these are also the subscribers. Subscriber refers to the customers, okay, or those who generate business. Okay, so those who give business, it means they pay money. Okay, so businessmen who can afford to advertise in it. Okay, so both of these type of people, they give money to the newspaper companies or to the newspapers. The growth of press depends on both. So the growth, because growth only appears from the sake of money only. Therefore, in newspaper management, neither aspect can be neglected. So these two aspects, one who gives revenue by giving advertisements, and by just purchasing those newspapers. So both the aspects cannot be neglected. It means both of these type of people, they should not be, you can say, they should not be make upset. Coordination among the various departments, editorial, circulation, advertising, and production, is very essential for effective and better management. So all the departments in a newspaper are essential. The head of various departments must be part of the management of a newspaper. They must be aware of the goals set, policies, and future plans of the management. They cannot afford to remain cut off from the mainstream of the management function. In addition, each department should keep the other department managers informed of those of its activities that will be useful to them. It means each and every department is interrelated. Whatever one department has information, they should transfer it to another one as well. This is a vital aspect of newspaper management. So this is the vital aspect, or you can say vital concept of the newspaper, or vital work of the newspaper management. Okay. So this is again a very basic and easy and interesting paragraph. I hope you understood the meaning of this passage. This is very interesting again. Now let us see the questions related to this. Okay. So the question number 1 is, let us read new question number 1. The growth of newspaper depends on, as we have read the entire passage, now we know very well that what are the answers of these questions and also the location of the keywords themselves. Okay. So first of all, the growth of a newspaper depends upon. So here it is written the growth of a newspaper. Now let us see the options. The editorial and news coverage. Now, of course, the growth is related somewhere to money. Okay. Large scale subscribers, advertisers, or subscribers and advertisers. So as we can see over here, the economics of newspaper publishing requires both subscribers who can afford to pay newspapers and businessmen who can afford to advertise in it. The growth depends on both. It means we are talking about both subscribers and advertisers according to the last line or second last line of the first paragraph. So here answer will be D according to the context of the passage. Now let us move to the next question. Now this is question number 2 of passage number 9. The main idea of the first paragraph of the passage is, so the main idea of the first paragraph of the passage is the growth of the press, news and editorial coverage, the economics of newspaper publishing, and the importance of advertisements. Of course, we are talking about the economics because we are talking about the revenue of the newspaper publishing. So here it will be C, as we have read the first paragraph as well. So C will be the correct answer according to the context of the first paragraph of the passage. Now let us move to the next one. It is question number 3, the main idea of the second paragraph. Now they are talking about the second paragraph, coordination among various departments, editorial, circulation, advertising, and production. Now let us see the options. So main idea of the second paragraph of the passage is the future of newspapers, how to sell newspapers, effective newspaper management, or the role of heads of departments. Now, as you can see over here that they cannot afford to remain. So the head of various departments must be the part of the management of newspaper. It means we are talking about all the departments and their heads and their roles, because this is a vital aspect of newspaper management. So here, according to this, the concept or the content of second paragraph, D will be the correct answer. Okay. Now let us see this question number 4. The word goal in the passage means aim, conclusion, result, or benefit. So first of all, let us see where this word is written. They must be aware of the goals set. The goals means basically target or aim. So aim will be the correct answer. A will be the correct answer, of course. Okay. Now this is question number 5 of passage number 9. And the question is the word vital as used in the context means. So vital is written over here. Vital aspect. Vital means very important. So options are primary, important, healthy, or lively. Of course, it is important. That is B. So B is correct answer. So this paragraph was very, very easy, though it is little bigger than that of both of those, but this paragraph is very simple and easy. So answer is B, that is important. I hope you understood all the passage, the entire passage, and the questions based on it. Now only one passage is remaining, that is passage number 10. So we'll start doing this passage number 10 now. Okay, now we'll do passage number 10. Okay, so first of all, we'll read the entire passage and after that we'll go to the question. So here passage number 10 is, the strength of electronics industry in Japan is the Japanese ability to organize production and marketing rather than their achievements in original research. The British are generally recognized as a far more inventive collection of individuals, but never seen able to exploit what they invent. It means British, they have a very special and a very important technology, very good technology. They are far more inventive collection. They have far more better collection, but they don't know how to advertise or their you can say marketing strategy is not that much good. There are many examples from the TSR-Z hovercraft high-speed train and Sinclair scooter to the Triumph BSA and Norton motorcycle, which all prove this said rule. Now, said rule refers to that fail to market, okay, fails to marketing, or you can say that they do not have a good marketing strategy. They do not know how to exploit what they invent, how to just market, you can say advertise what they invent. The Japanese were able to exploit their strengths. It means there is something which is a strength with Japanese, that they know how to do marketing. So marketing structure with Japanese is very good, which makes them, you can say, go above than Britishers in marketing and development many years ago. And their success was at first either not understood in the West or was dismissed as something which could have been produced only at their low price. They were sold because they were cheap. Now, what they thought, that these items are very cheap, that is why they are sold. Cheap copies of other people's ideas churned out means when when we make copies of one thing, many copies of one thing. Workhouse which was dedicated to hard grind above all. Okay, so they just feel there is actually the strategy in British and Japanese market. British, though they invent with the good technology, their inventions are good, yet they do not have proper marketing policy or marketing strategy. On the other hand, we talk about Japanese ability. They have a good structure of marketing strategy and advertising their products. So they sell products very easily just because their marketing strategy is very good as compared to that of Britishers. But Britishers, what they feel, because Japanese technology is very cheap and their products are very low priced, or they are very cheap. That is why they are sold. So, but the main factor is marketing strategy. So let us start doing the questions. So the question number 1 is the main theme of the passage, and that is electronics industry in Japan, industrial comparison between Japan and Britain, the importance of original research in industry, the role of marketing efficiency in industrial prosperity. Obviously, it is D, that is the role of marketing efficiency in industrial prosperity. So the entire concept is about marketing efficiency. So the correct answer will be D. Now let us move to the next question, and the next question is the TSR hovercraft, high-speed trains, Sinclair scooter, etc. the symbols of electronics industry in Japan? No, they are the they are the inventions of British. Okay, industrial comparison between Japan and Britain, the importance of original research in industry, or the role of marketing efficiency in industrial prosperity. Again, the correct answer will be C, that importance of original research in industry. Now let us move to the next question, that is question number 3, and question number 3 is the said rule mentioned in the passage refers to. So we are talking about the said rule. Okay, and we have already read this word over here, that is prove this said rule. Now what is the said rule? The lack of variety in Japanese inventions, the inability of Japanese to be inventive like British, the poorer marketing ability of the British, and the inability of British to be industrious like the Japanese. Now it is only the marketing ability of British. So poorer marketing ability of the British. So answer will be C. Now, according to the this is the fourth question. According to the passage, prosperity in industry depends on, we know well that it is marketing ability. So it is given in A option. Others are productivity, official patronage, and inventiveness. Obviously, it is A, that is marketing ability. So A will be the correct answer. And now let us move to the next question. And the next question is it is evident. It means proved from this passage that the strength of a country's industry depend electronic development, dedicated workforce, original research, and international cooperation. Now, as you can see from this passage, that the strength of country's industry depend electronic development, dedicated workforce, Now, if you see this line, that strengths in marketing and development many years ago, and original research and international cooperation. Actually, it is only on original research, because uh, it is, uh, you can say, rather than their achievements in original research. It means one should have the original research, that what is actually the strategy. As you can see, it is in the first line, the strength of electronics industry in Japan and Japanese ability to organize production and marketing rather than their achievement in original research. So it should be B, that is dedicated workforce. Okay. So as you can see over here, it is written rather than their achievements in original research. It means this is not the factor of their strength. It is Japanese ability to organize production and marketing. And that depends on the workforce, dedicated workforce, because they know what should be done and who to do this. Okay. So here answer will be B. Okay. So these were the questions based on passage number 10. I hope you understood each and every question thoroughly and each and every passage thoroughly. Thanks to you. We will be doing some more passages in our next session. Till now, thanks to you.